This is the L2C Media Network. So, how was your 4th of July back from Earth? It was good. It was good. And I thank uh, Angie and them for inviting me to partake in everything. The rain, once again, the rain last night, as it has tonight, doused the fireworks portion. How's your driver's side window? The driver window? Not good. I got some, um, what do you call it? The stuff that you use in the fall on your windows, the window insulation, the fantastic plastic to help out. It's doing okay, but I'm still looking for someone affordable. And I might have to wait till August when I get paid again to just make it all make it all right. If you know what I mean, I think you do. Anyway, we got a great show tonight. Let's get to it. Harry, do your thing. Live from the beautiful Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios on the fourth floor of the Park Forest apartment complex somewhere in the boonies of Jackson, Michigan. This is Steve Sporty Balls. I'm your announcer, Harry Von Stuttgart, and here he is, the man in the mirror, Steve of the Baxman, Bexley. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. And if things look a little disheveled, if things look a little disheveled today, they should be because today I have been a little busy cleaning up and just, just making sure everything is okay. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. My air mattress developed a little bulge, and I'm afraid it may have popped. I'll try to get it blown up tonight after our sports cast, so I can at least have some place to sleep tonight. And I may just bring it out here in our living room set, or in our living room. Um, I've sort of been distracted today because of some personal things that I've done and some things that have really happened to me. And, I'm so glad next week is coming because I really need to talk to people. Now, Monday, I have an 11 o'clock with Kyle. Um, on Thursday, I do believe, yes, Thursday, I have an appointment at Segway. So I'm not going to be able to take anyone anywhere because it is at 2 o'clock. So, so for those who have me scheduled for driving, they are going to have to seek alternate suggestion because I will be there for about a couple of hours. So my appointment is at 2, and it should be interesting what happens. So I'm going to miss the Thursday wellness and my apologies to all. Tomorrow's going to be a rather busy day. I'm going to be visiting some places to get some food and a few other things. Also, I got to start moving things out of the sun deck area of my friend's home. Um, I don't know what else to tell you except that this is going to be one hell of a interesting weekend. So, with that said, let's get on with this, shall we? Usually we'd start with the sports first, but it's Friday. We could freak out if you want to, and so we shall. And, ooh, boy, it looks as though you don't have to worry about FanDuel TV taking over the old Valley Sportsnet because it's starting to happen. The Dallas Stars are about to become the latest NHL team to cut bait with its local TV partner as the company that owns a majority interest in the club's hometown RSN, that's Regional Sports Network, has asked the Houston Bankruptcy Court to approve a split. In a motion filed late when you want to start this over again? Thank you. Okay, we're starting this over one more time. See, live TV is amazing. Even live streaming television is amazing. Anyway, we got the latest on Diamond Sports Group now, as yet another team decides to split with Bally's soon-to-be FanDuel Sportsnet, but I don't think we have to worry about FanDuel taking over the way things are going. Let us read. The Dallas Stars are about to become the latest NHL team to cut bait with its local TV partner as the company that owns majority interest in the club's hometown RSN, that's Regional Sports Network, has asked the Houston Bankruptcy Court to approve a split. In a motion filed late Wednesday with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Texas, Diamond Sports Group, and we might as well put down the beleaguered, money-hungry, desperate to stay afloat, Diamond Sports Group requested permission to dissolve its rights deal with the Stars in advance of the 2024-2025 NHL season. In the course of ongoing discussions between the Stars and principal owner of what soon will be known as FanDuel Sports Southwest, Diamond controls 90% of the network, with MLB's Texas Rangers holding the remaining stake. The team's front office has requested that the parties mutually terminate the existing rights agreement, which expires next May. Diamond agreed to the Stars' proposal after determining that advertising and affiliate revenues generated via the RSN telecast of the team are not sufficient to offset the rights fees. Quote, the debtors have determined that the costs associated with performing under the Stars' agreement for its remaining term, including payment of substantial right fees, outweighs the revenues the debtors are able to obtain through broadcasting Stars games, Diamond counsel John Higgins wrote. As part of a contingency plan that's been evolving over the past several months, the Stars are said to be looking into partnering with a tech company to launch a direct-to-consumers app that will allow local fans to stream the team's games. As a bonus incentive for Stars enthusiasts, games streamed on the ad-supported platform will be accessible at no additional charge. Can we lower the... Oh, can we high boom the camera? There we go. Thank you. We gotta do something and center this little guy. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but I'm still sort of in the dark. So can we just a little bit that way? Okay. All right. A local TV deal is also said to be in the works, although nothing has been finalized. I will bet ye dollars to Tim Horton Donuts that the local TV deal will be in the works, and it will be the Lighthouse giving Chase, the Lighthouse, otherwise known as Scripps Sports. They got Vegas. They got they got Vegas. What else have they got? If anyone knows, please let us know. And hello, Matt, Ed, and Eddie. It's great to see you again, my friend. And I have news after the broadcast tonight. I've already got the screenshot ready. I'm putting up the ad tonight on TwitX, or X, as it likes to be called. But anyway, here we go. The attorney has asked Judge Christopher Lopez to authorize Diamond's rejection of the contract by July 11th, exactly 1 week before the deadline for creditors and league partners to object to the company's official reorganization plan. If the judge approves the dissolution of the legacy deal, the Stars will be the second NHL franchise to split from Diamond this month. The day before the motion was filed, the Florida Panthers announced that they'll be moving their in-market games to over-the-air Scripps stations in Miami, West Palm Beach, and Fort Myers. Yeah, that's right. Scripps Sports broadcasts the Vegas Vegas Golden Knights. They used to do the Arizona Coyotes until they moved to Utah. I don't know if there are any Scripps stations in Utah, so stay tuned for that. And yes, recently the Florida Panthers, the new Stanley Cup champions, signed a deal with Scripps Sports that will have their broadcast over the air on stations on their flagship station in Miami, West Palm Beach, and Fort Myers. So there you go. Fort Myers, they'll be on the Fox affiliate, Fox 4. West Palm Beach, they will probably be on Fox 29. And in Miami, of course, they will be on WDZL, Channel 39, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. That's Scripps, isn't it? I do believe so. So there you go. In the absence of the Stars, Diamond will be left with 9 NHL teams on its roster, down from the original count of an even dozen. These include the Anaheim Ducks, Carolina Hurricane, Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, Los Angeles Kings, Minnesota Wild, Nashville Predators, St. Louis Blues, and Tampa Bay Lightning. Last November, the Vegas Golden Knights unknowingly foreshadowed the Panthers' move when they capped their triumph in the Stanley Cup Final with a shift from their RSN, Bally's, to an in-market Scripps station. That would be Channel 13. No. That would be Vegas 34. Thank you. Vegas 34. Diamond shut down Bally Sports Arizona last October in the wake of the termination of its deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Phoenix Suns, and Arizona Coyotes. Should a similar fate befall the Dallas operation, Diamond's slate of RSNs will stand at 17. Diamond's confirmation hearing is scheduled for July 29th, with proceedings carry over to the following day. We will let you know. How things went. Okay, let's continue on our happy little motivation. NBC's NASCAR Chicago race coverage will be facing many logistical challenges. Most NASCAR fans tuning in on Sunday to watch NBC's coverage of the Chicago street race can't begin to imagine the logistical challenges the network faces in broadcasting this event, besides the fact that Chicago is still the murder capital of the Midwest. Now, Sunday's race, 4:30 Eastern, is NASCAR's second trip to the Windy City, and the sanctioning body and NBC should have an easier time given everything learned in the debut. Still, building a 12-turn, 2.2-mile course through the heart of a major city is nothing like holding a race in an established track. And to build it all from scratch in a matter of days makes it even more remarkable. Nate Ryan of NBC was behind the scenes in a video showing the challenges the network faced last year in Chicago. First, the streets used on the course aren't shut down until a couple of days before the event. When the production crew arrives, there's no infrastructure. NASCAR on NBC technical manager Matt Hogenkamp told Nate Ryan, quote, "We are used to coming into either an oval course or a road course that is already laid out, has infrastructure. When we come into a street course, we're coming into a blank slate, so we are building the entire infrastructure from the ground floor. There are no camera positions, no fiber infrastructure, there's no cabling, there's no course." Now, to help capture backdrops of the Chicago skyline and landmark, NBC used an 80-foot crane, a fixed-wing plane, and drones. Lead video operator Mark Morrell told Nate Ryan, quote, "As cars are coming over the hills, it would just look like a city race, and it was just fantastic," end quote. Jeff Agres of the Chicago Sun-Times reports NBC will employ 60 cameras around the course this year, along with 10 cars, each carrying 4 cameras, giving director Sean Owens 100 cameras to choose from, more than any other NASCAR event. Now, NASCAR and NBC's efforts last year were made even more challenging by torrential rain that delayed the start of the race, but once underway, NBC's production crew knew they'd pulled off something special. Hogenkamp said, quote, "It was trying, but the moment we heard the sound of the cars on track, seeing them actually roll through Grant Park, it was one of those moments in my career where I just had to stop and take it in because this is something that had never been done in the 75-year history of NASCAR," end quote. NBC set a high bar with its production of last year's race. The network recently earned an Emmy nomination in the category of Outstanding Technical Team Event, of course. Coverage on NBC. This will be, if I'm not mistaken, the last race for NBC. As you know, the summer, the 10 races in the summer will be split between Amazon Prime Video and the returning TNT Sports. Wow. Let's see what else is happening here. Remember Joe Buck? Used to be on Fox Sports, now is ESPN Brown. Well, guess what? He's back. That's right. After more than 2 years away from calling baseball, Buck was originally scheduled to return for a night on May 24th, broadcasting a Chicago Cubs St. Louis Cardinals game on Bally Sports Midwest with fellow legacy announcer, Cardinals play-by-play man Chip Caray. Unfortunately, the game was rained out. Buck and Caray did provide the audience with some stories reminiscing about their careers, elders in baseball. With rain delay, the broadcast was largely filled by previously recorded programming. However, Buck still has a month before his football broadcast schedule begins. That provided the Cardinals with an opportunity to play another Buck return to the booth, and the date was found. Buck will now call July 29th's Cardinal game with the Texas Rangers, according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch's Dan Cesar. While not as seemingly perfect as a Cubs-Cardinals matchup, St. Louis playing the Rangers does still connect to Buck, as he called those teams playing each other in the 2011 World Series. In Game 6, Buck paid tribute to his father by saying, "We'll see you tomorrow night," after Rangers' David Freese hit a walk-off homer just like Jack Buck did for Kirby Puckett's homer in Game 6 of the 1991 World Series. Now, Buck hasn't called a baseball game since broadcasting the 21 World Series for Fox. In 2022, the veteran announcer went to ESPN, joining his longtime on-air partner and good friend, Troy Aikman, to be the network's broadcast team for Monday Night Football. That ended a 25-year run as Fox's dynamic duo, play-by-play voice, and more than 30 years of calling baseball during his career. Though Buck had the opportunity to call MLB broadcasts for ESPN, he said he was ready to move on. However, he did acknowledge a return was possible if he wanted to do it. Teaming Buck up with Carey is a pleasant nod to the past when Harry Carey and Jack Buck called Cardinal games in the 50s and 60s. In addition to celebrating two renowned broadcast families, now the second and third generation will get another chance to enjoy the occasions with a grateful baseball fans. Woo! That uh, is fun, is it not? Yes, it is fun. It's fun. It's fun, it's fun, it's fun. Yes. Yes. Um, the World Series champion Texas Rangers have been shut out of the All-Star Game starting lineup, which we gave you a couple of days ago. Now let's not do this. Okay, we'll just move it along. Okay. NASCAR Insider gives an update on AM Racing number 15 car Hailie Deegan's status going forward. Hailie Deegan's NASCAR future is suddenly uncertain after Xfinity Series race team AM Racing announced earlier this week that Joey Logano will replace her in the number 15 Ford this Saturday in the Chicago street race. Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports on site in downtown Chi-Town sought to get an update from AM Racing on Deegan's status going forward. Those within the race team told Pockrass that it's to be determined on who will be in the car next Saturday at Pocono, as well as Deegan's status going forward. AM Racing did mention Deegan in its announcement that Logano will be taking over in Chicago, but admitted the results this season haven't been up to standard. Wade Moore, AM Racing's team president, said, "The level of competition in the Xfinity Series is as competitive as it's ever been." End quote. It is our goal at AM Racing to field a competitive race team through our technical alliance with Stewart-Haas Racing and provide any of our drivers the best equipment and opportunity to be successful on track each weekend. With that being said, we haven't had the success on track that we were hoping for in the first half of the season. When the opportunity to have Joey in the car at Chicago became a possibility, we felt we needed to take advantage of the knowledge and feedback that a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion could provide to our team's growth. We intend to take the feedback and data from Chicago race weekend and apply it to building better race cars each week so AM Racing can have a stronger second half of the season. Deegan, who is 22, has had a rough go in her first full-time season in the Xfinity Series. She failed to record a top 10 finish from 17 races and sits 27th in the point standings. Deegan has finished 20th or worse in 8 consecutive starts. She has yet to publicly comment, though she has removed AM Racing from her X biography. Logano, meanwhile, said AM Racing approached him about the seat. So we wish her well and a good future. She's an excellent driver. It's just now that things are a bit in an upheave. Okay, we go now to golf. The Breakaway Leaf Golf setup has continued its growth, with the Breakaway Circuit opening new offices in London in addition to their inaugural headquarters at Centurion Golf Club, opened in June 2022. The expansion of the Leaf Golf setup seems unstoppable, with the Renegade League announcing yet another new office opening in London. Liv made its debut at the Centurion Golf Club in St. Albans in June 2022 and has been on an upward trajectory ever since. The creation of the Breakaway League sent shockwaves through the professional golf world when the PGA Tour decided to take a hard line against their newfound competitor by suspending members who chose to join the Saudi venture. Despite maintaining its position as the pinnacle of professional golf alongside the PGA Tour, the American-based circuit revealed plans to reverse its stance on the Middle East by partnering with the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. The surprising turn of events followed an announcement by the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan that the circuit had reached an unexpected framework agreement with PIF. With Leaf boss Greg Norman seemingly left out of the surprise deal, the future of the breakaway circuit in the rapidly evolving landscape remained uncertain. However, more than a year after the announcement, it seems Liv is here to stay, having once again expanded with the opening of offices in London. The news was shared by Liv's creative director, Will Newell, who gave a sneak peek at the new headquarters in an Instagram post. Let us continue to read. By the way, we're 4 minutes from halftime. Yay, which means I can get a drink. Okay, thank you. I will not accept. What the fudge? What the fudge? Yeah. The Renegade Tour, I'm going to just call it the Leave Golf Tour, is set to host 14 events across 8 countries, embodying the global aspiration long championed by Liv's headline act, Phil Mickelson. Back in May, Mickelson shared his bullish outlook. Quote, I think there's a lot of things that are going to transpire over the next 5 or 10 years. I'm very bullish and excited about what that means for Leaf Golf. There's also a lot of uncertainty. I think that the thing that I do know is I think the quality of the players will continue to get better each year. I think the ability and the sites that we move to throughout the world will continue to excite players and excite fans. We'll be going to more countries outside of the U.S. that really are starving for world-class professional golf, and we'll have a lot more receptions like we had at Adelaide. And with the grand opening of Leaf's swanky London HQ, the countdown begins to their anticipated return to British turf. This year, the Saudi-funded tournament is set to tee off at the JCB Country Club on July 26 after a 2-year stint at Centurion Golf Club. So, good show for them. Good show. I think this is going to work out. But then again, what do I know? I still want to know if Holy Moly has been renewed. Come on, ABC. Oh. Excusez-moi. Okay. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will be doing duties for Amazon Prime Video when they have their 5, when them and also TNT Sports, when their summer of 10 begins. 5 for Amazon, 5 for TNT. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is calling for NASCAR to make some changes to tracks like Dover and Bristol, hoping they return to their former glory. During the latest episode of the Dale Jr. Download, Earnhardt Jr. raved about the venues and how exciting the race was there before they changed to a concrete racing service. Now, while Earnhardt Jr. understood, he harkened back to the memories he has of terrific racing on asphalt at Dover and Bristol. Dover and Bristol, those 2 racetracks are great racetracks. I'm a big fan of both. They have two things that I love about a racetrack. One of them is very steep banking, and they're relatively short. Dover's a mile, Bristol's a half mile, so usually the steep banking is reserved. At least back in when I was much younger, the steep banked racetracks in NASCAR were reserved for the mile and a half and Daytona and Talladega. So having a very steep banked short track was very compelling, and it continues on. So part two coming tomorrow night. Because guess what? We're at the half. We'll be back in a moment. Please stay in your seats. We will return. I just got to get a drink. Yes, friends, I gotta get a drink. So we'll be back in a few moments. Can't play any music because we don't have the rights to it. So just stay tuned. We'll be back. We leave you in solid hands or in solid feet. Hey, how's it going? Sorry. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. No, I cannot hide it. Oh. Okay. All right. We're back. See, it only took us 4 minutes, so I'm going to try to knock it down to where it'll only take us, about 2? Okay, let's get you some more Good stuff. And since we're talking about college football, or soon will be in a moment or two, three, four, five, Michigan fans had to endure 2 decades. Let's try that again. Michigan fans had to endure 2 decades of dominance by the Buckeyes from 2000 to 2019. Let's try it. From 2000 to 2019, but that pain and agony almost feels like a lifetime ago heading into the 2024 season as it stands today. Michigan is currently enjoying a 3-game winning streak over Ohio State. They have won 3 consecutive Big Ten championships, defeated Alabama in the Rose Bowl for the 2024 CFP semifinal, and captured the 2024 national championship back in January. To say that the last 3 seasons have been enjoyable would be a big understatement. One of the most enjoyable aspects of the recent success for Michigan fans has been the response from Ohio State fans. While some have directed their anger towards head coach Ryan Day, who's now 1-3 against the Wolverines and is on the hot seat, if reports are true, underline word are true, then this could be Brian Day. Brian Day, maybe. Well, what? Oh yes. Then we are closer to having that lovely headline in the Columbus Dispatch. His day be done. Get it? Our day is done. It would be wonderful to hear Ohio State's day done after losing 4 times to Michigan. I want to see that. And not the game because obviously you got to have Bucky's, but I want to see the Columbus Dispatch front page say, "Day is done at OSU." No, day is done as Buckeyes lose again to Michigan. Most of the Buckeye faithful have resorted to finding various ways to cope with losing repeatedly, from bad weather to accusations of cheating. There is seemingly no excuse that a Buckeye fan won't resort to in order to make themselves feel better about the last 3 meetings. But no matter how hard they try, the brutal reality for the folks in Columbus is that Michigan now owns your asses. Mm-hmm. The Michigan Wolverines are the all-time winningest program in all of college football and the only program to have eclipsed the 1,000 win mark. Ohio State is currently sitting at 964 wins all time. Now, given the trajectory of both programs, there's no indication that the Buckeyes will be catching the Wolverines in our lifetime. Maybe in our sons and daughters' lifetimes, but you don't know. Even after the Buckeyes went 17-3 from 2000 to 2019, the Wolverines still hold a 10-game advantage in the head-to-head record. It will be interesting to see how this record changes moving forward, particularly given the possibility that the 2 heated rivals could clash multiple times in the same season, thanks to the new-look Big Ten Conference and expanded CFP. Let me explain that to you, because last year, for a while, the Big Ten has had 2 teams. West has had 2 teams. Not 2 teams, but 2 divisions. But this season, we're going back to the way we were. That's right. One whole big conglomerated mess where one team, where there'll be 2 teams, but no divisions, one big column of a mess. The current streak for Michigan is 3. Michigan's 2021 win over OSU in the Big House will forever be remembered as a game that helped change the course of the rivalry. Wolverines were riding an 8-game losing streak to the Buckeyes heading into that matchup, and guys like Aiden Hutchinson and Hassan Haskins were intent on bringing that streak to an end. Not only did Michigan get the win, the Wolverines ended up bullying the Buckeyes all afternoon, winning by a score of 42-27. Things got even worse for Ohio State in 2022 as the Wolverines marched into Columbus and put a 45-23 whopping on the Buckeyes in their own building. The game was slightly closer as the rivalry returned to Ann Arbor last year, but the end result was the same: Michigan 30, Ohio State 24. Longest win streak belongs to Michigan with 9. Who can forget that magical stretch from 1901 to 1909? It was a long time ago, but we can't just pick and choose arbitrary timelines to fill the narrative, unless you're a Buckeye. Largest margin of victory, and still unbreakable to this day, Michigan 86-0. Speaking of that magical 9-game winning streak mentioned above, it also included the largest margin of victory in the history of the rivalry. The date, October 25th, 1902, and the Wolverines put an 82-0 whopping on the Buckeyes in Ann Arbor. The beauty about this record is that it will never be broken. Michigan will own it forever, and Ohio State will just look at it and conference championships, Michigan 45. This one is a little bit closer between the two programs, but Michigan still has the edge. The Wolverines' 45 conference championships are good for the most in the Big Ten Conference, while Ohio State comes in at second with 39. How about national championships? Michigan with 12. There used to be an old running joke about Michigan's national championships all occurring before the invention of the first MP3 player, but capturing the 2024 national championship has helped put a narrative to sleep in deep harmony. The reality is that the Michigan Wolverines are currently the reigning national champions of college football, and that is a very difficult reality for the folks down at Columbus. So, folks, give the people of Columbus a hand. They know winners when they see one. Okay. Speaking of NASCAR, which we were a while ago, and I know we got other sports news, but we got to take care of many things before we take you to the board. Okay, well, for just the second time in the 76-year history of the NASCAR Cup Series, the sport is set for a weekend on city streets. Chicago hosted last year's inaugural street race weekend, hosting both an Xfinity Series race and a Cup Series race, and the Windy City is back on the 24 calendar again during Independence Day weekend. Saturday's 50-lap Xfinity Series race and Sunday's 75-lap Cup race around the 12-turn, 2.2-mile temporary street course in Chicago are both scheduled to take place. Oh, is this going to be fun? During Chicago Cub games at nearby Wrigley Field. Now, last year, Chicago race weekend saw nearly 50,000 spectators, even with the rain, from all 50 states and 14 different countries. Wrigley Field seats 41,649 and has averaged 36,139 per game so far in 2024, good for 7th in Major League Baseball. Now, the Xfinity Series race, the Loop 110, is scheduled to begin on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The Cubs are scheduled to take on the Los Angeles Angels beginning at 2:20 Eastern. Then on Sunday, the Cubs Series race, the Grant Park 165, is scheduled to begin at 4:30, while the Cubs are set to play the Angels again at 2:20. Oh, God, what fun, what fun, what fun. It's good water. Yeah. Now, though the events may conflict, Wrigley Field is located roughly 7 7 miles north of the street circuit, so there shouldn't be any major issues. There weren't any notable issues pertaining to the game and the race being on the same day. But whether or not that changes this year due to timing remains to be seen. Last year's Cup race was scheduled for 5:30 and ended up being pushed back slightly due to rain. The Cubs game also started at 2:20, both times Eastern. Chicago, of course, is in the Central Time Zone. Guarantee Rate Field, the home of the Chicago White Sox, is closer to the track than Wrigley. It is located 4.5 miles south. However, the White Sox are set to be in Miami, Florida this weekend to take on the Marlins. Quite frankly, even if they were at home, it probably wouldn't matter given their ongoing struggles to draw a crowd amid a terrible season. They rank 27th in MLB average home attendance. They were also on the road for last year's Chicago race weekend. The Loop 110 is set to be broadcast live on NBC from the Chicago Street Course at 3:30 this Saturday, and the Grand Park 165 is set to be broadcast live on the same network beginning at 4:30 on Sunday, July the 7th. Please enjoy a look at one of my favorite cities, Chicago, Sweet Home, Chicago. If I were there, I would have a black suit on, white shirt, black tie, and black glasses, black sunglasses. This time, if I go back, I'm on an upgrade. How do you like it? Nice upgrade, don't you think? Okay, folks. Here we go. Portini. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Joey Chestnut. Well, he beat soldiers at Fort Bliss, the hot dog eating competition. Yeah, what do you do? Well, oh, this is a new little report. Discount home goods retailer Big Lots revealed it is planning to shut down more stores this year, maybe facing permanent closure. Hi, how are you? Thank you. The latest major chain to face financial ruin as inflation-battered shoppers pull back on spending. The Ohio-based company, which has around 1,400 stores nationwide, including some here in Jackson, disclosed dismal fiscal reports in a June SEC filing and says it plans to close between 35 and 40 stores this year, following the 52 stores they closed last year. The Big Lots report said elevated inflation has put a damper on customers' buying power, resulting in big losses for the company and substantial doubt about its ability to continue operations. So, folks, I would suggest we continue to monitor this story because Jackson naturally is involved. It took about 6 years before, it took about maybe 7 years before Jackson finally bit the bullet and Sears went bye-bye. So there you go. Okay. In the media world, we will continue to follow this story because it is definitely going to be ego bruising. Stephen A. Smith's uncertain future with ESPN and behavior on First Take are apparently causing tension, an insider claimed. The 56-year-old First Take star and so-called executive producer is out of contract next year and reportedly wants a $7 million a year pay rise. You know what I say to that? F thou. The broadcast, which is done out of ESPN studios in Manhattan. Oh, man. Smith will do that. Smith is said to be seeking $25 million annually, which would make him ESPN's highest paid analyst uh, over their newest person, some guy named Pat McAfee. And Insider on First Take has told media groups, or has told media outlets that tension is growing behind the scenes. The source claims that the behavior of Smith and co-star Shannon Sharpe has left crew members really mad. Smith and Sharpe are doing whatever they want, said the staffer, who spoke on the condition of that lovely thing called being anonymous. It's frustrating for all of us who work our asses off. Shannon had his extension deal, and it's good for him, but you can really see that both of them care about their deals more than about their coworkers and colleagues. The situation has to change soon, or will turn into a possible situation to deal with, and one of them may have to go. Please let it be Stephen A. Smith. He may have to grovel to Fox Sports 1 and bring back the game. Wouldn't that be fun to see Stephen A. Smith's ego deflated? I know in Molly Curran's case, it would be a very nice thing. It would be something to see because that guy is nothing more than a shyster, a carny worker. To continue, another anonymous staffer said, I used to enjoy going to work, but right now I wake up in the morning not wanting to go in. It's pretty much Team Smith and Sharpe against everybody else. The insider called the Smith and Sharpe situation very frustrating. Stephen and Shannon think that the show is them and nobody else is important. First Take did not comment when asked about the claims of tension behind the scenes. The show airs at 10 p.m. until noon and is one of two rating hits for ESPN, which is trying desperately to get back into something good. Yay. Let's see. There's a report out from, of course, ESPN that the Magic and Franz Wagner have agreed on a $224 million rookie extension. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Yes, it is time now that we bring you the scoreboard. Yes, we have made it. Well, not through the entire alphabet here. Let's just keep going with some news here. In soccer news, we'll take this because this is our Euro 24 report. Let's see. Cristiano Ronaldo's final European Championships ended from 12 yards out as 5 flawless French penalties eliminated Portugal in the quarterfinals, sending pre-tournament favorites Les Bleus into a semifinal with a Spain side who emerged victorious in a pulsating clash with Germany. What were the scores, you may ask? 5-3 France over Portugal. Yep, 5-3 France over Portugal. How about the other game? Huh? How about the other game? Huh? How about the other game? Would you like to know? Would you? Let's see here. We have, I know we had one report we were going to do, and we're still going to do it. There we go. Okay, man, we got a lot of reports. Busy day. We all know that the Pac-12 is no more, just 2 teams, but the rest of it is dead and buried. During fall Saturdays last year, Pac-12 official John Morton would gaze up at the stands, the sights, and the sun and feel something else wash over him during the conference's impending demise. Sentimentality, melancholy, and a sense of loss. The CPA from the Pacific Northwest spent 13 years as a Pac-12 on-field official. The 2023 season was his last, as was the league's last. And it wasn't easy having that fact play over in his mind and he's on the field for the entire season. Officials are supposed to be neutral. Morton couldn't be, not in this case. He and his peers were rooting for the status quo, and they weren't alone. Amid the Pac 12's dissolution, not just their cable network, it's easy to overlook a cohort of individuals who proudly carried with them some of the conference's lasting legacies. The 64 Pac 12 officials who worked last season have been scattered to the winds of fate, but not without memories, emotions, and a farewell. Those 64 on field officials, not counting replay officials, were divided into 8 crews of 8 for the league's last season. The story from there is almost Darwinian, natural selection with a whistle. Only the strongest believed officials survive. The net effect is that actually few, if any, of the Pac 12 officials will lose officiating jobs. It's just that those jobs won't be in the old Pac 12 or perhaps even the Power 4. It hurts. It hurts bad. But for those who stayed there, and did their best, we salute you very much so. Okay, now let's go to the scores, and then we will be out of here. We got 4 minutes. No, we got 5. Now we got 4, 3, 2, 1. We got 4 minutes. Let's rock. Let's get you all the scores we can. In the WNBA at the half, it is the Sparks over the Aces, 46-36. In halftime, the Storm has blown over the Chicago Sky, 42-40 at the half. Final score, Wings over the Dream, 85-82. In the John Deere Classic, there's a tie, the second round, a tie for first between C.T. Penn and Erin Ra, both at 14 under. Third place, Harry Hall at 13. Tie for fourth between Eric Cole and Davis Thompson with 12. In Major League Baseball, and why don't we do minor league? Well, starting Monday, we will. You just got to let us, find a little irritable time here. But here we go. Bottom of the eighth, Astros lead the Twins 10-5. Middle of the fifth, Orioles lead the Athletics 3-1. Top of the ninth, Mariners over the Blue Jays 2-0. Top of the fifth, Padres over the Diamondbacks 5-2. Top of the fourth, Brewers losing to the Dodgers 2-0. Final scores, Cubs Angels 5-1. Cubbies. Pirates beat the Mets 14-2. Final in 11 innings, Cardinals 7, Nationals 6. Final in 10 innings, Red Sox bam slam the Yankees and shock them 5-3. Final score, Giants over the Guardians 4-2. Final scores, Tigers over the Reds 5-4. White Sox took care of the Marlins 3-2. Phillies over the Braves 8-6. Rangers over the Rays 3-0. And the Rockies over the Royals 4-2. And in Liga MX football or soccer, in the 90-minute set, it's Tijuana over Quintaro 2-1. Final score, Puebla over Santos 1-0. And FC Juarez takes on Atlas at about 11:10. In the National Women's Soccer League, 45th minute and extra 2, it's Portland, San Diego scoreless. Now, we got 2 minutes. Hey, we got 2 minutes. Let's see if we got some other little scores we can bring you before we fade out into the distant planet that we so righteously live in. Yea, though we shall do our very best. Let's see. Copa America, Canada, and Venezuela are tied at 1. And that's about that for that. It is? Wow. That was squirrely. Okay, we got about a minute. Well, might as well just do it this way. Do we have any basketball? WNBA, Dallas beat Atlanta 85, 82. Wait a minute. Yep, that's Friday. Los Angeles and Vegas at halftime, 46-36. Sparks lead. And also at the half, the Seattle Storm hit the Chicago Sky, 42-40. That is it. We've hit the 11 o'clock post, 9 seconds to go. Steve, the Backsman Baxley, saying thank you for joining us. And we will see you tomorrow night. Same back time, same back channel. This has been a presentation of Mystified Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network. Thank you to the producer, Matthew, the Wizard Nichols, co-producer Jay, the Brain with 2 N's to avoid legal. Man, that's it. I am the Baxman Cuckoo Cuckoo till tomorrow at the loveliest time of all, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you. Good night. Shalom, y'all. Thank you.